One of the most dangerous passes we're going to be dealing with when we're using the half guard is the hip smash or the leg weave pass. Here Stefan weaves his arm through behind my top leg in front of my bottom leg, which is blocking me and stopping me from being able to move the bottom leg out in front, similar to how we talked about the twisted mount from the smash pass. Stefan gets his head nice and tight, drops his shoulder into me, starts walking around. I can't follow him with my leg very well because of his arm blocking. He's able to redirect my hips away from him to solidify the pass. This is a very difficult pass to deal with. Anytime our leg starts to get collapsed like this and pinned down and binded to our other knee, we become very weak. This is why I prefer the half guard shell first and foremost over just like the Z guard or the shin shield, because if I'm here, it's already this much easier for Stefan to wrap his arms through and now start collapsing this. If I have a proper half guard shell and I'm connected to him and Stefan tries to reach, he's unable to collapse this. He has to put a lot of resources into trying to collapse this leg as a lever first. So that's the first start. Having that prevention of just a proper frame with my knee pointing up. As long as he's trying to drive it down, I have to try and find ways to grip fight and keep my knee pointing up. So even if he starts moving my knee down a bit, I'm going to break the grips because he's not trying to grab at my head at this point. So it's fine. I don't have to be blocking this the whole time, only when he's really grabbing my head. If he goes back to try and grab at my foot, I can control here. Break the grips and then get back into position. Or obviously, the space that he's going to create by reaching back at my feet is probably going to allow me the opportunities to start reestablishing further frames. But inevitably, this leg will get collapsed at some point. As he collapses this down and weaves his legs through, he is trapping our legs and pinning our hips. But my upper body is relatively free here. So what do? Just like we talked about within the whole collar tie series, my hips are pinned, my shoulders come up. You can sometimes use a collar tie from here, but this is kind of an awkward angle because of how close and parallel he is to my body. I recommend a reverse collar tie. My goal here is to keep Stefan from being able to bring his head across that center line, like we've talked about with the pressure passes here. So as Stefan's trying to complete this pass, I'm adjusting the angle of my post here with my elbow, and as he's trying to complete this, depending on a few things, if Stefan's able to keep this leg free still and try moving around, I'm going to have an easier time being able to withdraw that leg. However, we're having to wait a little bit further into the battle, and it can become a little more dangerous. We might get redirected in other ways. Otherwise, I want to start trying to build up onto my hands so I have more mobility, and what I'm going to try and do is push him away with my top knee here into his hip. So you can see how I can move Stefan's hip back even slightly here. I got to try and beat this. If I have good base and I'm able to perform a proper technical stand-up, I'm going to be able to beat his hand. The problem is here, whether he's gripping onto the gi or making a fist to the ground, I don't have a lot of range of motion here, and he's going to be able to beat me. But my leg is stronger than his arm, so if I can create the proper angle, if Stefan's trying to hold onto my leg right now, and I can lift my hips and withdraw, not a chance he's going to be able to stop me here. Whether we just perform a technical stand-up and look to get up, or we just use this as that opportunity to be able to frame, withdraw that leg to break the grip, and then go back. Because you can see, Stefan immediately hooks that leg. And so unless we're going to be able to create a proper load-bearing frame like this while we get up, so that as Stefan tries to lift me, he's going to be unable to, we're going to essentially be getting into a wrestling battle. Comes down to the skills that you have. I highly recommend just breaking that leg free and getting back to a seated position.
But if you're a great wrestler, you take the single leg. I don't care. I'm going to counter.
Absolutely. You just know that he's not going to have the ability to take you down. You're going to have counters. You're probably going to be able to turn those offensive movements into back attacks or front headlock. That's going to be the better play. So it all comes down to the skills that you guys have. Another option is doing that full inversion, just like we talked about in the smash pass. So here, my main goal here, he's putting enough weight into me that I'm unable to be able to build up onto my elbow. Cheat code. I have to reach and grab this arm, whatever means necessary. You can grab the gi, but obviously proxy-based control, if I talked about, it could migrate down. I don't have the best control. Use C grips. C's push. My defensive grips here. So as Stefan's trying to grab onto me, he can't. And then what I'm going to look to do is switch. So so I have this top arm controlling, so I can withdraw this arm again. It's hard for me to go to turtle here. It is possible still, but the thing with the half guard is that my bottom leg is actually kind of trapped in between his legs. Depending on the situation, I might be able to use this top leg, just like the previous technique, to push Stefan's hips back so I can withdraw that foot. So here it's trapped, I can't move it. I push him away and I bring my knee up. This is going to allow me to now bring this leg out. And as I do this, I'm bringing my elbow behind me and I'm going to plant it in base, lift myself, and rotate. If we can't, and this is the more delicate part of that situation, it's going to happen late once you start to complete this pass to an extent. Because as Stefan starts to beat that leg and clear it, my leg will always become free. He's banking on that fact that he is pinning me here and creating this wall that I can't bring it this way. And so as this leg becomes free, that's where we're going to look to circle it around the outside, traveling the further direction. So as we're here, Stefan's blocking this. I'm making sure he can't control my head, because if he can control my head and my upper body, there's no ability for me to rotate now. I can't spin freely, and he's also eliminated any space for me to do so. I need to make sure he does not control my head. As he starts to complete this pass, there. Now there's nothing stopping my legs swinging out this direction. His arm, though, is still blocking me from going this way. So here, I bring my elbow out, I plant my foot in the base, so even if Stefan's driving into me still, I'm able to lift my hips and rotate. And this is where, this one catches people by surprise. Ryan Hall taught it in his Deep Half series where, and he's done it in competition, that rotating those half Granbys. As soon as you start going upside down, it confuses people, disorientates them, and we're able to possibly end up in like omoplatas or triangles. And so a good guard retention movement, that defensive movement, can lead to a great opportunity to start switching to offense and attacking the submission. So you gotta know how to deal with the smash, the leg weave, any kind of way that our opponent is pinning our knees down to our knees, accessing this as a lever, completely killing our legs. We're looking at turning up into the turtle sometimes. We're looking at denying them the ability to control our upper body so that we're going to be able to withdraw our legs, building that technical stand-up. So if you can build up onto your elbows and create mobility in your upper body, that's always the best course to do so. Less risk. The less we have to move, the less vulnerability we create in our alignment. But if you need to, the inversion is also a great option against the leg weave.